Can sugar make you tired? Actually, the question should be, how can sugar make me tired? In this video, I would like to discuss how sugar affects not only your energy, but your body, your brain, and your moods. So if you're interested, keep watching. Hello, beautiful friends. My name is 𝗕𝗡𝗢𝗦𝗘. I'm a certified nutritionist and a functional nutrition lifestyle practitioner. I'm also the founder of Nourish Functional Nutrition, where I teach you how to get to the root causes of your symptoms and how to use food as medicine. In this channel, I give you all of the tools that I have at my disposal to help you go from confused and frustrated about your health to empowered and excited to take your health to the next level. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and remember to tap on the bell so that you can get notified when I release a new video. The question is, can sugar make me tired? But I think that the question should actually be, how does sugar make me tired? And so what I want to do is talk about how sugar has an effect on our body and our energy levels, our brain, our moods, and our sleep. And so let me just give you an analogy. So sugar is the basic form of energy that our bodies use. Is glucose or sugar, and that comes from the food that we eat. What determines whether sugar makes you tired or not is how quickly that sugar gets into your cells. So even though we need it for energy, we don't want that energy to go into the cells too fast, because the body uses insulin as the carrier. So insulin is like a car that transports this passenger, the glucose, into the cell, which is the destination, through the bloodstream, which is the highway. And so we have these little cars transporting these passengers, the sugar, into the destination. And we want to do it methodically and slowly. In that way, everyone can get processed, and then we can utilize this energy in our cells to have long-lasting energy. So what determines whether these passengers go into their destination slowly or fast? What determines that is the amount of fiber, because that delays the process, and the amount of protein, meat, chicken, fish, beans, legumes, and nuts and seeds. And protein is also found in plant foods, but in lesser quantity, meaning that you would have to eat a lot more plants in order to have the amount of protein that you would get in animal flesh. So all that to say is that we need to have a variety of foods so that we can transport the sugar molecule, and it can be metabolized or broken down very slowly. So it goes to the cell slowly, and we have long-lasting energy. So what happens when we crash? Let me give you an example. I had a client, we're going to name her Annie. Obviously, that's not her name, but she was a young woman, and she was always tired and feeling like she could not get enough sleep. She would come home from work hungry and exhausted after being gone all day, and she would just crave sugar. And obviously, she's thinking, I need some energy. So she would have a donut and maybe some cereal, something sweet. She just wanted sweets and something that would just really get to her energy. But that energy didn't last very long. Within a half hour, she was on the couch sleeping till 8 p.m. at night and hadn't made dinner, hadn't done anything. But she would wake up really hungry, also craving sweets. And so this was every evening after evening after evening. And what happened after a while was that she could not even stay awake, and her sleep was compromised. And so what's going on in a person like that is that the blood sugar is going up really high, really fast. The pancreas is secreting the insulin to take care of that sugar. And then all of a sudden the bottom falls out because there's no sugar left there, and the person loses energy. So that's how sugar can make you tired. If you continue to go on that roller coaster day after day after day, what happens is that you can develop diabetes or other chronic conditions because the body is out of balance. And you start developing headaches. You can't sleep at night. And the reason you can't sleep is because that sugar drops so fast during the night that it wakes you up. because your body's trying to recruit sugar from the liver where it has stored it as fat. So there's many reasons why eating a lot of sugar is not beneficial to the body. So what do we do instead? What we need to do is gradually introduce some protein and some fiber and a little bit of fat, healthy fats. And how do we do that? So let's take the same example of Annie. When she identified that she was so hungry in the afternoon, she would have some sliced apples with some pecans and maybe some tea. And so that balances the blood sugar. Why? Because now we have fiber in the form of apples and nuts. There's some protein in the nuts, and there's also some fat. And this is a great strategy for us to just slow down that release of sugar. And when you slow it down, then the energy lasts longer. You can do that with every meal. So that's your mid-afternoon snack. And what's happening is that a lot of people think that it's not okay to snack. And so you have this deprivation and this thought that, oh my gosh, I can't eat between meals because that's going to make me fat. When in reality, what makes you hold on to all this fat and gain weight is that you have too much sugar, and that sugar needs to be stored for later. And so the best way to break that cycle is to provide some nutritious food. So I have given you several videos where I go into what foods have protein, fiber, and fat. So I'm going to skip through that to talk about your moods. So what happens when you're eating a lot of sugar? Your moods become affected because there is cortisol, and cortisol is the hormone that gets triggered when the blood sugar drops. So let's say you eat a couple of donuts with icing when you come home from work, blood sugar goes up, and then an hour later is tanking. And at that point, cortisol is this hormone that it gets released, and it's kind of like a fight or flight hormone. Then you feel anxious. There's this anxiety that comes, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta eat something. And then you go on that roller coaster of eating sweets all the time. And some of us have favorite sweets that we keep around the house just for emergency purposes, and we feel like we need to be eating on a regular basis. So that affects our moods. It gives us anxiety. It gives us depression. We're compromised because we cannot sleep, and we're also tired and have low energy. So if this describes you, just know that there's hope and there's an answer. There, you really need to go back to nature, go back to eating vegetables and fruits and lean meats, eggs, protein, yogurt, things that are going to nourish you at every meal. Because as you balance your blood sugar, everything else starts coming into balance. Most illnesses have to do with a balance that is upset in the body. And so by going back to food and using it as medicine, you can really clear up not only the body aches, the energy, the moods, and the way that you're healing your body. So if you have any other questions regarding this, please feel free to reach out to me, Monica at nourishfunctionalnutrition.com. But I want to remind you that in 2 days, we start a 10-day Ditch the Sugar Challenge, where you will find a lot of tips about how to break the cycle of sugar addiction and get to feeling better really fast. And this really does not take very long. So I'm not demonizing sugar. What I'm saying is that sugar is harmful to you, is not a food. Plain sugar, all of these processed carbohydrates that leave you as though you have no energy and no life, they can be taken out of your life for 10 days so that you can feel the difference in your own body. And when you do that, you are able to take control of your health. So remember, sign up for the 10-day Ditch the Sugar Challenge. You can go to my website or you can look in the notes. Sign up. It's completely free. And all it is, you sign up and then you start getting tips. You're going to get 10 days worth of tips that if you do all of these things that I teach you in these 10 days, you are going to feel so much better, and you are going to ditch the sugar and bring whole foods into your life. I hope this video was helpful, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and tap on the bell so that you can be notified when I release a new video. Remember, 10-day Ditch the Sugar Challenge. Sign up today. See you on the next one.